All right. Shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this morning with a message regarding the light, bringing the light out of the midst of darkness. I want to say to the servants of the Most High Yah that it is so important for us as individuals to find our place in the body of Hamashiach. And when I say that, I mean that we are to be finding our place, not finding. Yeah, I could say finding because there's some that's too far out. They need to find their place in the body of Hamashiach. And I would suggest they do that ASAP. I, Sister Deborah, have a message here, and I'm grateful for several messages that the Most High has ushered into my spirit, and I will be bringing them forth this week. But this message, I want to really lean toward the light. I want to lean toward the light and still, in this way, bring the Most High Yah glory. Okay, that's the direction I'm going in this video, with this video, with this slide. I want to talk about the light because that's where the servants of the Most High Yah should be found in this day. In this day, the light should be found, entering in and pulling out of darkness, entering into the darkness and pulling out of darkness. That's where the servants of the Most High Yah should be in this day and time. Is it my job to teach it in a way that I would be telling someone? No, because what is, if it's not greater in you to have that mindset? I'm just touching base with those who are of the light. You see, not so much as trying to get one to portray that role as if they are the light. And look, I can bring it out of darkness. No, be careful, because what I learned is everything that heaven is right today, everything that heaven is, everything that heaven was. There are those who know heaven is right here on the earth. I've told you that longer than for the last 2 years. He's allowing them to be on the earth right now among the people. And a lot of people call them everything. They calling on aliens and they call fallen angels, and they so wrong about the way they teaching it to where the people are really not getting exactly what's taking place, because they exaggerating and they teaching it totally out of the order. And I'm going to give you a little something. I can give you that right now. The Spirit of the Most High was explaining to me the day of Noah. The day of Noah was a time. Let me see if that's, where do I have it in my, yes. Oh yes, I have it right here, right in. I wasn't planning on bringing this into the light, but I'm going to go and stick this in, even though I have a total message on that. This is a total different message I'm going to give this week, but I want to just give you something in the days of Noah while I'm talking about the light, because this kind of helps support how important it is for us to understand where we need to be in this day as far as the servants of the Most High Yah. Okay, I want you to go to Genesis chapter 6 and verse 6. In Genesis chapter 6 and verse 6, this is what the Spirit was giving me during the Sabbath. I sit back and I think about the things that Yah did allow his servants to do. Those were men of Yah to leave us so much good information, but we chose to take on what the world has to feed us versus what Yah sent his servants to feed us, to leave with us. So I want to go into something that he showed me in Genesis chapter 6, verse 6. And I'm going to teach that this week, the whole overall, but I just want to add that into here. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. I shouldn't go with, yeah, I'm going to go there. I want to go there because I want to go to verse 7, but I'm going to go and stick with 6 because there's something in 6 that he showed me. Okay. In Genesis chapter 6 and verse 6, I want you to see here. It says, and it repented Yah that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Now I want you to see how those who printed this book, how some things they just don't, not some things, I'd still say many things they just can't seem to have in their power and control, and that is to reveal stuff that they didn't know or realize they were revealing because Yah charged their spirit to leave the light on. Here you notice it says, and it grieved him at his heart. At his heart. It grieved who? The Most High Yah at his heart. Now, where did our heart come from? Do you all know that this fleshly heart is with the flesh? So for it to tell you that, and it grieved him at his heart, it allows you to understand that like unto a heart that we have in the flesh, just imagine a heart that you cannot see, but you can believe it exists. And that is that Yah has a heart. This is what we have in the spirit, is what we have in the flesh. But the difference is one is fleshly and one is spiritual. You see? So I want you to see where I never was able to really break down why we have a mind in our spirit, we have a heart in our spirit. You see, we have wisdom in our spirit, we have knowledge in our spirit. You see what I'm saying? We have all these things in our spirit, and I really can't really break it down to the point where I can convince people. See. No, all I can do is teach it. Okay, but it's what is branded in you that will get you to believe it, and that is belief. Okay, so if that's not branded in you, you're not going to understand that you have a spiritual heart, a spiritual mind, spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge. The understanding is the Most High Yah, which is spiritual. You see, a lot of things we have in our spirit is greater than the things we have in our flesh. One would say, why would you say that, Sister Deborah? Because all things in our flesh is just temporary. It dies. But the things that are in our spirit is eternal. Whether it's eternal in the lake of fire or it's eternal in the kingdom forever with the Most High Yah. Even in the lake of fire, you still going to have that heart. You're going to have that mind, you see? And you're going to feel that burning, okay? You see? Even though you're going to be a spirit. You see how people have made the flesh so important? that which goes to the grave and worms and bugs are waiting to eat it up, goes back to the dirt. You see, that heart will be ate up by insects and worms and all kind of things in the earth. But the heart that's in the spirit is eternal, whether it's in the lake of fire or it's in eternal kingdom with the Father. Now, here it shows you that he grieved him at his heart. I consider that to in a way of showing you he has feelings, whether we understand it or not, or whether we know it. A lot of people wouldn't think of him to have anything because they don't believe he's nothing. That's the way 99.9 sees the creator, and you can make it any number you want. Sister Deborah, say 99.9. Okay, so I wanted to show you here in Genesis chapter 6, verse 6. I wanted you to see how they that created this book, okay, I don't even think you could probably find that Yah had a heart nowhere else. You might, but I haven't seen it. So for them to allow this to slip, to show you that the creator is a spirit and he has a heart. I want to share with you all that the heart of your spirit is greater than the heart of your flesh. The mind of your spirit is greater than the mind of your flesh. That's why he said, let this mind be in thee that is in Christ. Why? Because the mind of the spirit, he wants you to let your mind of your spirit to override the mind of your flesh. And let that be what you think on, which is the mind of your spirit. Oh, it'll take y'all. It is really true how one should get their flesh under the subjection to the spirit. You know why? Because your spirit is so willing to do what's right. Isn't that beautiful? But your flesh don't want no part of righteous. So just imagine having the mind want to do right and the flesh don't want to do right. And you end up following the way of the flesh, and then your spirit follow what the flesh wants. Why? Because you come down here to follow the flesh and not your spirit. Your spirit does not come to follow the spirit of Yah when you follow the spirit. When you follow the ways of your flesh. That's why it's important to get the flesh under the subjection to the spirit, because the spirit is really willing to do what you call righteous. Yeah, really. It's willing to do what is right. So as we continue, something else he revealed to me here in verse 7. And Yah said, I will destroy man whom I have created from off the face of the earth, both man, beast, creeping things, and fowls of the air, for it repented me that I had made them. Okay, I want you to see right there how he says he's going to destroy it says, I would destroy man from whom I have created from the face of the earth. What has also happened there was he did destroy man. He did destroy what? The flesh. You see what I'm saying? He did destroy the flesh. All flesh, from creeping things that's on the face of the earth, even the fowls, everything on the face of the earth that he what? Created. He created. Now, what he's saying on the face of the earth, every human being and everything that's created and the things that's seen and unseen are spirits. See, that's what is capturing the world today. It's the realm of the spirit. You know how he say, we fight not against flesh and blood. But he began to tell you principality in high places, rulers of the darkness of the world. All these things, this is what he said. So he's showing you that there's another realm outside the realm of the flesh. Mhm. So when he destroyed the world, he said he destroyed the realm of the flesh. All that he created in the flesh did he destroy. You see, there were a realm here in the beginning before flesh was even created. There was a realm of spirit in principality in high places. Now they're on the earth. So when you see, I've spoken that too many times. When you see what's going on in the world, is the spirit of man has detached himself to the spirit of the unseen, and the unseen is working that which is unacceptable in the eyes of Yah, but yet Yah's will still has to be done. So you see a lot of things going on. So I just wanted to share with you when he was explaining to me that he killed on I have created from the face of the earth. He's letting you know that he's going to destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth. Both man, beast, these are all entities without the spirit. Okay? Man is flesh. So he's letting you know he's destroying the flesh. Okay? Now, all these things that was with them back then that was causing them to do even worse than what Yah was willing to put up with, he did destroy them. And they were here even before he created, not they were here before heaven and earth, but they were here before man even started to be in Genesis 6. This was a buildup of what man was doing. See, man, everybody think he just came up out of nowhere and decided, hey, I'm going to destroy it. No, this was a buildup of how man was following the unseen spirits. And that's a lot of people today. They don't want to take on the fact that there is a battle going on. Now it's on the earth. It was in principality in high places. Now it's on the earth. Okay. Now, this is where the angels of the Most High Yah also are fighting a very powerful battle at this time. There go my brother. Let me from California. No, I'm not going to answer it, even though I know what he's calling. It's Mother's Day. He's calling. It's my youngest brother just calling to tell me Happy Mother's Day. I know that's who it is, but I called him back. But I will say to you that when the Father revealing to me about uh, he destroyed the flesh realm of all creation, meaning the outer man of all creation. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, there was other spirits, like the pigs, when they asked if please don't destroy us before the appointed time. Remember, they asked Yeshua HaMashiach, please don't destroy us. No, it was saying, have you come to destroy us before the appointed time? Let us go into the pigs, which were the swine. Okay. And what they did, what he did, he allowed them to go in an instant. What did they do? The spirit drowned the swines, the pigs in the water, in the lake. You see how that happened? But did the spirits that went into the pigs, were they destroyed? No. They just had the pigs running going wild into the lake, drown, and then they get to come out and go elsewhere. Okay, so that's similar to what I'm speaking on, and this is why the moment you saw Noah and his three sons now starting a new earth, not a new, somewhat a new earth and everything, you notice Ham still had that darkness still in him. A lot of people thinking that darkness and evil is just going to disappear. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't even think it's going to disappear when Satan is chained up 1,000 years. I really don't, because I think Satan has already met his quote. And I'm going to tell you that that's what I know in my spirit, that Satan has already met his quote. He already done what he come down here to do. And if you ever think to just think for a minute, people, who assigned him, and who appointed him, and who gave him that ability to have that type of how would I say it, position or purpose. See, he came down with a purpose. Okay, Satan came down with a purpose. He didn't get the purpose on his own. He got the purpose because he wanted to rule the kingdom. The Father allowed him down here, gave him the earth. Okay? And when he gave him the earth, he suffered him to deceive the whole world. You see? He even said, Satan come down to deceive the whole world. So you think he came down, he got down here to deceive, or was that his position? It was his position, and he has met it. Guess what? You too had a position. And guess what? Many of you have met it. I don't care how young and how old. You have already met the position. Why? Because it was in you when you got down here. You have already met the position because it was in you. When you get down here, the position is already in you. Just as truth is already in you. Do you abide by it? No. Do you know that it was there from the no? See, that's why I said, if you really think, y'all, the will of the Father is done and is written already. He's not coming down here to play with us. And I'm going to tell you, as a young teenager, it bothered me how he allowed all of these things that they did to a people doing slavery, to a people knowing that it's us now, in doing slavery. You let them do this, and you let them do, you wonder, what truly is there a creator? Yes, you knew it was. At least I did. But I couldn't understand why did he allow it, which is allowing a lot of things. He has a will. And just because everybody came down with truth, then you wonder how everybody knows truth. When I sit and I tell y'all the elites knows the truth, and guess what? They practice it. How do they practice it? Through evil. They mimic y'all's truth, and they practice it through evil. But what's wrong with the people then? See, we keep thinking it's Satan and his demons and Yah and his spirit seed. No, guess what? There's some backing up. Those that back up, they with the evil, but they there to back it all the way from the beginning when evil stepped down here all the way into this day in time. Not time, but even to this very day, they still doing it. And look at the victory they get. See, a lot of y'all didn't know that, did you? Look at the victory. So when he said in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 7, how he destroyed all mankind, creeping things, fowls, those were things he created out of the dirt, out of him creating the earth itself. These are the things he created. But what was before dirt? Spirits. You see what I'm saying? They didn't die. You see? They did not die. That's why Ham was able to go in there into his father's tent. It wasn't that he was going into his father's tent to do what he did. But who he was got the best of him. And even today, we still deny the fact that this bloodline, Ham, did such a thing, and we would blame everybody else and say, no, he didn't, just because he's a melanated, melanin people. We'll find a just reason to make that a lie. And that's what they have done. That should have been in all the places of worship. The body of Hamashiach, it should have been taught. Everything should be taught in the body of Hamashiach under righteous, under just. You see? Why? Because we're supposed to be holding the truth. We have tapped into truth, and we're supposed to uphold it. But what happens is you can't find the body of Hamashiach because they're all over the place. And guess what? They're not all over the place as one is here, one is there, one is here, one is there. No, they all over the place as the world. They all over the place in worldly matters. That's why you can't find the body of Hamashiach. You remember it tells you several times, when the Son of Man come, be ready. Let him find you ready. Be ready. You see? Do you think people are going to be ready? No, because they're going to be still chasing around trying to make the issues of the world a oneness. People take everything in their whole living and make it their whole world. And they leave no space at all to be a oneness in the body of Hamashiach. Not at all. Now that is a job, and only the job and the power of Yah dealing with that. But I don't think it's going to be as good as everybody think good is. Because I seen good with evil in the beginning. When you think of why there has to be a tree that holds good and evil, what kind of stuff is that? It's because people call their good, their evil, good. Because good is next to evil, so they think they can live in this world for both sides. Or I can be good on this end, and yet I'm evil on this end. That's the way I'm talking about how people bring their oneness into the world way of doing things. That's why you can't find the body of Hamashiach. That's why there's no unity. And they could care less, because this is where you also see how people are sold out to the world, because they have made their world like the world on the outside of their world on the inside of their living, and they deal in that way. And then on the tail end, hear me now, on the tail end they put Yah. Oh yes, you can't even hide from it. People can't even hide from it. Because see, they thinking if they hide from flesh, they good. Oh, I'm good. They don't know. But they don't even understand. That's what you call a hypocrite. Because heaven sees it all. He already know if you're a hypocrite or what you are. So hiding in a way that you thinking that, okay, I can serve the world to 99, say 95%. I catch Yah on the tail end. That's what they do. And it's okay. In where we are at today, all of that is good and dandy. All of that is good and dandy. Because in me, I truly believe that when Yah come, and when Yeshua HaMashiach come, okay, no, the Son of Man come, when it's time to take his remnant, all of this is going to be considered. It's going to be, we know that no one leaving out of here perfect. We're going to have sin, iniquity. We're going to have so much stuff in us when he's going to have to clean us up when he get us to Mount Zion, where it's holy. We're going to have to get cleaned up. But what I mean is people, I don't believe that it's going to be people who are not ready. But guess what? Yah already branded them that he knows that's ready in the spirit. But there are those who really believe that they're going to be included because they're playing the hypocrite. You see, That's what making them think that, hey, I'm in there. I know I'm going. I know. No, 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 no. He already got you written, baby. It ain't what you think and what you say and what you say you got. It's what he already have written. That's what he's coming for. That's it. That's what he's coming for. So the topic is about the light, okay? Where we need to be today as the body of Hamashiach, the body of Christ, where we need to be at as one that's walking in line or behind or with the light, okay? I want to start with Genesis, and I didn't really choose Genesis 1 and verse 2 and 3. That one was given to me by the Father. And when he gave it to me, he didn't give it to me for me to he didn't hand it to me as if he broke it down to me. He handed it to me as, now break that down. Okay? So I'm doing that now. That's that verse that was given to me by him. So, like I said, I didn't break this down. I didn't go into this and read it and try to dissect it. It was just given to me by the Spirit. So I know if he's giving it to me, he wanted me to break it down because it's something greater in me that knows all things, and he wants me to break it down. So when I get into Genesis chapter 1 and verse 2, it says, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the water. Okay. Verse 3. And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. Okay. Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. So the Father wants me to explain to you that it was darkness at first. And he brought light. Okay. He what? Let's see how he brought light. And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. So there he's letting you know that he spoke it with his word, and his power saw to it that light over succeed darkness. That's where we at today. We today that are of the light, we got to understand the light that rests within us over succeed the darkness. Never can darkness on this earth overweigh. Jonah, what's wrong with him? Oh, it ain't no him, it's a her. My daughter's dog. I'm here dog sitting. So I say unto you, what the Father wants me to share is that verse 3, and Yah said. Now, when Yah said, that means you hearing his word. See that? You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to show you where his word is greater than words. Okay? So he's saying that he said, let there be light. And there was light. He's wanting you to see. Let's go to verse 4. And Yah saw the light that it was good. And Yah divided the light from the darkness. Now I want you to see how Yah want you to understand. It was dark. I mean, midnight dark, blue dark, and mist. We know it was water, but it was dark. Okay. Now I want you to understand that he made light to overpower darkness. That's where we need to be today. In the way we walk in him, the way we talk in him, the way we act in him, the way we conduct ourselves, the way we stand in this world today. We are the light of this world. not of the United States only, of this world. Hear me, hear me, hear me now. We are the light. This light over succeed the light. The darkness that's in this world. So when you always hear Sister Deborah saying, "But all this darkness in this world, and nobody's seeing all this darkness, and what he say? Now you bring light out of the midst of the darkness. That's my charge, you guys. My charge is not to go making sure everybody get it, making the crooked straight, making sure everybody get. My thing is to stand in that darkness and bring light out of it. Pull that light out of that darkness. Because darkness is never going to get victory over light. So this is why Yah allowed all this time darkness to think they in full control. That's why I told y'all, you don't understand he that is Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Because if you understood it and understand it, you will know he's the one in the beginning. But guess what? Wait till you see what's going on in the end. Because he's allowing us to understand that darkness cannot take over, cannot overpower light. Even a pin needle light in the midst of all darkness is greater than darkness itself. Praise the mighty God. So when Yah said, let there be light, and there was light, Yah want you that are the servants of the Most High Yah. This light he's speaking of today is the light of who he is in you. You're supposed to walk in that light. You're supposed to talk in that light. You're supposed to live in that light. You're supposed to sleep in that light. You wake up in that light. You teach in that light. You preach in that light. It's everything in that light you must represent. That's where we are today. This is why he says you are just to pour that light out of the midst of darkness. Can the darkness bind Sister Deborah from pulling the light? Now, did the darkness stop the Father from bringing up light? No, it didn't, because he don't have the power over Yah himself, who is light. You see? So if Yah is light, he created that light to show up to where now there's no darkness. And then he put it in the order of where he give darkness its space and light its space. You see that? So what he wants us to understand is darkness shall never exceed over light. That's why he said a candle cannot be put under, you can't put it under like a bed or anything. It has to be set up on a shelf or something where it can bring light to the whole room. He's speaking of you. You're supposed to be the light in your family, around your co-workers, around your community, around your neighborhood. They should be able to see your light. And that's what I explained to you all many a times. There's times I can go places and people looking at me like they seen a ghost. Do you know that I know that it ain't my nasty, ugly flesh? I know it ain't my nasty, ugly flesh. I know it ain't my nasty, ugly flesh. See, that's when you know that the light is within. And at times, my light would shine so bright no matter where I go. And that's when total strangers begin to speak to me. That's when I know my light is really, really bright. It's when strangers would just start talking to me, and I said, for instance, I go anywhere among people and you see people looking and looking like they didn't seen the ghost. That's when I know my light has shined really, really bright. So I already know all about the light. So when I be telling y'all, have your spiritual backpack and your light in your right hand, I know what I'm talking about. I know what y'all ain't used to hearing. Your pastor didn't teach you that. Your bishop didn't teach you that. You see, everybody looking for all these administrative positions to teach them. And that's all you don't understand. They can teach you. They can teach you from the flesh realm. where you really looking to be taught from the flesh realm, but they ain't gonna teach you spirit and truth from the light realm. So this is where we should be. We should be, and the spirit of Yah gave me Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, 3, and 4, because he wanted me to start there to see how he, as the creator, brought light to have dominion over darkness. You see, darkness had the dominion all by itself. He brought light in. He is light. And he wants you to know that same way he gave light its time of day, 12 hours out of its time of day, so have he given you light. But he gave you light for the whole world, not just for your families, your friends, your co-workers, your neighbors. For this whole world, you are the light. So your light not supposed to be hidden somewhere, put up somewhere, or not lit. This is another way you know whose individuals are. This is another way, because they light so shine. Okay. I went with my sister and my mother and my sister and them out to eat, and my son went with me. And I remember my sister was talking, and she was talking about her grandson. She seems to think, and this is the mind, not just her mind, but this is the mindset of people. They think all that they have on the outside is worth more than what they have on the inside. If you don't have the Most High Yah on the inside of you, living in you, you ain't nothing. Like, really nothing. Nothing on the outside has any weight, has anything. I knew it. That's the way people live, and that's the way they're going to die. That's why he said, my people perish. And he's saying due to lack of knowledge, because the knowledge of knowing is the knowledge in which he has allowed his private servants to actually know knowledge. Why? Because Yah knew that there was knowledge in the flesh. The knowledge in the spirit would always be greater than the knowledge in the flesh. The wisdom in the spirit would always be more wiser and greater than the wisdom in the flesh. You see? So you see how we that are of the light, we got the light of knowledge, we got the light of wisdom, we got the light of understanding. Everything that's in us with that light, you can't put us out. Yeah, you can unsubscribe, and you can dislike, and you can do whatever you want to do. You can talk about, when you finish, the light is the light. And Yah has put us to be the light of the world. And whether you like it or not, we are what he say that we are, and not what you think in your flesh that we are. Okay. So my sister tends to talk about, oh, my grandson this, my grandson that, my grandson, and I got him in this, and he did. It's more so, and I mentioned this the other day. People are so locked in to the world not the world order. To me, waiting for the mark of the beast, which I already know it took place, waiting for the world to give them orders. What do you need the one world system for? You're already in the system, stupid people. You're already in the system because you're following everything the world has you to follow. Not are you following it day by day, but your mental state is under a one world order already. Oh, yes, with no doubt. And then that's why it won't be easy. It won't be hard for you to detach to the way of the world, because you're already connected 90% already, you see. So they know that too. Surely they know. Too bad you don't. but they know already. So when I was talking to my sister, and I noticed she does this all the time, and I don't know if she think that, I believe she think that that put her kids over somebody or something, because she's been saying that for years. She say, well, he's real good, and I told him I'll be up there at your school if you do this and you do that. I'm gonna be at your school if you do that. Y'all hear me? I had to chop my sister down like I do all the time. No, I ain't ashamed, because that's what the light. That's what you have. Why would he give you the light for you to go in the darkness and look like a fool and let darkness always get victory when it don't need to get victory in truth? I'm sitting there. I'm a very attentive type of person. I listen. I really listen. And I'm sitting there listening to her. And I know I had went over there, asked her about something else at her house the other day. And she went into that same thing. It's the same thing since I've known my oldest sister. Same thing, putting them kids as, oh, they straight A student. They straight A's. They get straight A's. And I put them in this. They play basketball, and baseball, and he's good. And as long as I keep him into that, he ain't getting into this and he ain't getting into that. And this time, Mama and my other sisters were there. My son was there. He went with us too. I had to tell her, y'all, I've heard it the day before. That's all she talked about. She's supposed to be telling me what these insurance papers were saying. Instead, she's telling me everything it was she telling at this table. I want to, and I'm going to give her a real breakdown, and that's going to be my gift to her. That's going to be a gift to her. I want to break it down and I'm breaking it like I'm about to break it down to you all, because people really think everything surrounding them, those that surround them, and all the worldly matters is so high up in their living. They don't care what nobody say on the left. They don't care what nobody say on the right. They don't care about nothing. But they have every reason to feel that way, because they don't have him that's greater in them. To me, if you don't have the Ruach HaKodesh living in you, okay, to tame your butt, you lost. And that's the way you're going to leave out of here. Just as you are thinking that everything in the world is what everything is about. So it's always about that. And I noticed that with her children when she was coming up, because see, I had the first grandson, and he was all that and some to everybody. And he was the first one. And when her son came along, it was like, you could tell, you could feel that envy and that jealousy. Oh, y'all. Even when my youngest sister had hers, you can still, they just wanted the thunder from my mom and dad for their children. My mom and dad, first grandbaby, was their world. They didn't treat none of them, they didn't treat them like negative or anything. They gave them just as much. They did much with them. And my mom and dad, yes, they did. But it was just that first grandson was their world, was my daddy. Which was my son. But my oldest sister had that ever since then. So that was a long time ago. My oldest son is going on 46. So what I'm trying to say to you all is, here it is. I'm telling my sister, a couple of days ago, we went out to eat. And I'm telling her about, she was telling us at the table, all that she always said, oh, he does good with this here. He does good with this. He played basketball. He's straight A. He do good in schooling. And I had to go up there because they said he was talking in class. I had to let him know. Did. And I looked at her. Woo! Woo! Shoot, they don't. I took one look at her across the table and I said, let me tell you something. Just like I'm telling you. He's 11. Already, he should be heading towards 6 foot tall. He's 11. 11 years old. I said, you got a year and a half. I told her, just like I'm telling you, I said, you got a year and a half to instill him all your ways, baby. Instill into him how you in control, and he need to do this and he need to do this and need this. You better not be talking in school, or and then I gonna come to your school and do. You got 1.5 years, baby. You got 1.5 years to continue that. After that, you're gonna be shocked, because at the age of 12, some started 12.5, some started 13, they began to switch into their true identity. Their emotions, their inner person, flesh, and their inner spirit begin to switch over to who they are. And in the process of trying to switch over, if a child is trying to switch over to their true identity, and you on this end trying to school it and tell it this and this and this, and you better do this and you do it this way, and this ain't nothing wrong with putting rules and regulations. Oh, hey, that's what I did. But you better know, come that time, he gonna be switching over. All this about what you do and how you do it ain't gonna mean the rat's behind. I've told her too many times. I even told her to go down there to the system and try to get her money, because she was married to her husband 28 years and he was in the military. I think he stayed 20 years, and she don't get anything. And I told her that. And I just found out 4 days ago, when she was telling me at her house that she went down there and just she get a check. I said, now see, look at all them years you didn't get them. I had told her, go down there to do it. She's in all now, because she retired from the post office. She had been there like 40 something years, and she figured she didn't need his money. I don't need it. You know, all this extra mess. It don't mean nothing. Now, he done passed away. And here this money is that you entitled to. You was married to him 28 years. What are you talking about? You don't need it. Because you was at post office. It don't, see, too many worldly things that people keep putting before them. Guess what? You're going to get left behind. You're going to get totally left behind. I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm not going to do what y'all do. I'm not going to do what you all do. I'm not going to put y'all to the test. I'm not going to be testing him and trying him at what he said and what he done. No, I ain't. I'm going to sit my ugly tail down and be obedient to what he says to me from the inside. And if you ain't got him in you to lead and guide you, I mean really got him in you to lead and guide you, because a lot of you all are leading and guiding yourself and calling it him. But only he comes to chastise you, discipline you, correct you, show you left and show you right. And when you go the wrong route, he'll turn around and say, why did you do that? Didn't I tell you go this way? And then you say, oh, you did, didn't you? I forgot. I heard that. I didn't know if that coming from you, Father. You see? But too many of you all are out there thinking that, okay, I'm locked in. I know I'm going to the kingdom. Let me tell y'all something. It ain't like, and this is what he was saying to me this Sabbath. It ain't like everybody thinking it is, Deborah. We loaded with a lot of flesh. And this flesh is leading us to think we know the Father, and we don't. But let me get back to my sister, because I want to show you something. So in her, I said to myself, now I told her that 3 years ago. I said the same thing. But I kicked my son just wanted him to get a little taste of it. I said, look, this woman was totally shut down. You know why she was shutting down? Let me tell y'all why. She knows who I am in the spirit. She don't understand me in the flesh. But she knows if I have to rear up and say, it's time to stand down. Oh, she knows. She knows when my sister Booby speak. If she has to speak like that, I'm trying to get her to understand. Now, I ain't trying to get nobody to understand. I said, let me tell you. I let her talk. I said, when you finish with all that you talking about, because she quick to say, and I told Kiana, pay your insurance, pay your full coverage, always have full coverage, pay your bills, pay this and pay this and pay this and pay this, no matter what you do in life. And this girl is already struggling with mental issues. You ain't dressing to that. You addressing the things that she's supposed to do under the world standards. That's all. And that's how many people are. And it's not just her. Everybody is so locked in. Oh, this is due. I got to pay this. I got to do this. I got to get my medicine in this. And I got everything. Y'all didn't even know. All that is worldly. You're locked into everything worldly. And you give nothing in the realm of the spirit. You so locked into every matter under the sun that's worldly. This is why your light don't have no shine. It's because you ain't got no shine no way, and you don't know it. Everybody is wrapped into, like she always saying that, and and sometimes I think she thinking, hey, I'm above you because my kids do this, and I'm like saying, baby, mine do too, and who don't, But this is the key, y'all. I told her he got a year and a half for you to, to think you can tame him and control him. After that, his body began to switch, Reem. His identity began to switch over and identify who he is. And what you y'all keep, and even you all, you keep I call it disrespecting the Most High, y'all. He already got things in order to his will. These kids' ways can be found in their father. That's why no generation in this day and time can be defeated, because people right now they don't look at the idea. This world called a generational curse, but he had given them so many insight of how the ways of the children will rest in the fathers, and that's what I'm visiting, the children of the fathers. You see, that's why you think we end up where we end up, and we still. But you know what? That's true, though. That's true, Father. That is true. That's true. And what he said to me is, even though we as a people end up, because of our forefathers, even to this very day, they're ignorant to the fact. And that is true. That is true. So I can see why. Because while you bragging on what all he makes straight A's, and when you finish, that body gonna switch over to what it is. All that you brought him up in ain't gonna mean a rat's behind. That's just, I'm telling y'all, it ain't gonna mean nothing. It's gonna be who is in him. So how do you defeat that? You train him up in the way of the fear of Yah. You train him, teaching him that the Creator sees you. Even when I'm not with you, he knows all things. Give that glory back to the Father. Teach this child that there's one that's going to be looking at him 24/24. Not when you in his classroom. You don't need to be in his classroom. Because God is in the classroom. That's what they would call it. But I'm still saying God, so y'all can understand where I'm saying to her. In the classroom with her. Put that fear of knowing that there's something created greater than your mom and your daddy, and I'm watching you like a hawk. That's what you had to put in these kids. To where if they go and try to go in the store and steal something, they'll feel so they'll feel so convicted. Even when they continue to steal. And what's going to stop them is that they ain't going to want to keep going in there stealing because of the conviction. Why? Who's convicting them? They heard that somebody sees them. And everything they do. But no, you ain't teaching them that. You teaching him that you gonna go in the classroom and sit in there and he do this, you coming up there. They let them call Nana. Nana, please sit your tail down. Because when it all said and done, if you don't give your children, whether they're an adult or they're young, if you don't give them Yah in the way of letting them know that he's all and everything, he's greater than you. We got to teach these people, as well as our children and younger children, that God is greater than us. Oh, no. We want the kids to think we in full control, and we ain't. You see? But that's the way we want the glory. We want the thunder. And she's thinking that she's going to rule something. This young man is 11 years old. He wears a size 14 in shoe. He's 6 foot tall almost. And you sitting here trying to think that you're going to go up in his classroom. Oh, baby, you're going to go up in his classroom for a minute. Wait till that 12 and 13 inside start switching. And you know what I told her? I said, you ever thought, and this is because the only reason why I swung this one is because I'm not swinging it to her. I'm swinging it to you all too. This is where y'all mess up at. You ever thought Why did Yeshua leave home to be about the Father's business at 13? So while you sitting here thinking you tainting this 13-year-old boy, heaven sees him as a man, somebody who can hold his own. But how can you hold your own if you would have instilled in him that there's one that's greater that can hold you? You see? That can make sure you get to A to B, to C to D, E to F. That's powerful than mama and daddy. That's richer than mama and daddy. That can stop a train at a blink of an eye. But nope, they don't want to give the kids that. They want to let the kids think that they got this extraordinary this power, or they got this here, got something that they don't have. You see? And her whole thing, and I for a minute, when I spoke to y'all, guess what? It was 100% truth. But yet my flesh felt sad, even though I had to speak it. I had to bring truth straight out in the midst of darkness. And your flesh a battle with you. Don't tell her you're going to hurt her feelings. Oh, don't do that. Look at her. She looks so sad. Yeah. But you told her truth, Deborah. When that stuff comes, when they hit that certain age, that's it, women. You ain't going to rule no more. What you should have been ruling is putting Yah in them. The fear of Yah. They got mad, but I shut them down. No. Y'all on the outside looking in. Y'all only hearing it from the troublemaker, which is the youngest sister, about somebody. And y'all just taking it and eating it up at this table. Why do it have to be the way she said? Why do y'all have to believe it the way she said it is? Y'all on the outside looking into somebody else, a woman's household, and her child. And at the table eating, dictating who this person is. I mean, not dictating, just didn't wore her out. They got off the subject. But I said what I had to say. Don't ever step into no situation where you cannot bring light out of darkness. And don't hesitate. Because my son was like, this ain't the norm for you. I said, no, since you've been born now, you ain't never seen me mingle. I don't get in that with them. Now, if they ask me, mama, something, and we're going to, and it was supposed to be from my mother, her little Mother Day, but with mom, when my mom hear me talk, she's smiling. She always smiling, but the ideal of darkness and light, never think that you're supposed to sit there and mingle with darkness and talk about darkness. Those days are over. Kick rocks, y'all. Kick rocks. Because you ain't about to get me to sit at no table and sit nowhere. And you talking to me and I got to hear the dark side and I ain't going to bring no light out of that bad boy. You better sit down. They invite me. Don't invite me because I won't come on my own. And if you invite me, I'm going to have to bring in some light. Too long have the family been sitting in darkness. And that's what he said this day is consist of. All we have is to repent. And in the process of repenting, repent means turn. Return from those ways of wanting to mingle and sit among people in darkness and talk about all this dark worldly matter. But then when you pull up with light, nobody want to go into that area of light. They want you to stay right with them in darkness. Bull crap. Okay, so let's go to 2 Corinthians. We're talking about the light, and what I want to do is let you all understand, but give some food for the spirit. Let me say that. I need to start saying that more often because I think that is really truly where we at. We need in this food for the spirit. 2 Corinthians chapter 4. And a quiet storm has prepared to take me to a jazz concert this evening. And he came by last night to talk about it. And I was getting ready to come on live, and then he wanted to talk about, and I said, okay, I was just about to go on live, but him and his wife was talking about a whole lot of other things. And they really came over to tell me they had bought tickets for me to go. So that's this evening. So I said I'd get up in the morning and do my study, my lesson on the light that I got out of my Sabbath. So when I get to 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6, and it reads, For Yah who commanded the light to shine out of darkness. You see what I'm saying? He commanded. See that order? The light to shine out of darkness. You all don't understand. Your flesh is dark. Many of you all would not even let any type of light shine out of your flesh because you love the feeling of the flesh authority and the flesh ruling and the flesh in control and the flesh thinking and the flesh wisdom, the flesh knowledge and the flesh understanding and the flesh feelings and the flesh emotions, to where ain't no light in you no way. So you just working on darkness, but you're calling it mentally the light. Because this is what happens. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6. For Yah who command, see, he had to command the light to shine out of darkness. We need to learn to let the light shine. How can you walk with him and your light does not shine? How can you walk with him, period, in darkness? I don't get it. You can't. And it says, has shined in our hearts. Look there. He has commanded the darkness. He has commanded the light to shine out of darkness, out of our flesh. Y'all look there. You see? He has commanded, has shined it out of darkness, has shined in our hearts to give the light of knowledge of the glory of Yah in the face of Yeshua HaMashiach. So a lot of people are walking in darkness. And like I tell y'all over and over and over, they are so content. They can follow Sister Deborah week after month, year, and still fall in darkness because their flesh has won them over. And when the flesh have won them over, it's because their spirit were created and is created to serve their flesh. And that's why people who've been following Sister Deborah and thinking that they in the light, the sad part about it is they don't know how much darkness that has overshadowed them and has controlled them to believe that they are the light. So here, if you really think, listen to what it says. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6. For Yah who commanded the light to shine out of darkness has shined in our hearts. See, we're supposed to be the light to the world. And our flesh is holding us back as darkness. But he's saying here, it is saying here that Yah commanded that your light succeed your darkness, has shined in our hearts to give light of knowledge of the glory of Yah. Woo! In the face of Yeshua HaMashiach. That is a lot said there. There's a lot of power punches sitting right there. Yah commanded this to be. Why? Because greater is he, the ultimate light that reside in our spirit. What makes you think he gonna let your flesh succeed over his spirit that's in you? No, he's not. That's why I tell y'all, know who you say you serve. Because a lot of you are serving Satan through your flesh. But you're calling it still you the light. You see? But he said that has shined in our hearts to give light of knowledge of the glory of Yah in the face of Yeshua HaMashiach. You think he don't know what he has done? Oh, yes, he does. You just don't know what you're doing. You just don't know. So I like this because it's showing you how Yah is the power of that light. You see? And not so much as you. And when he has that sort of control of you by being the light in you and allowing your light to shine through your flesh, which is darkness, this is what this is where we that truly are those that are in the body of Hamashiach, our lights are supposed to be shining. And honestly, if I had to report to the Most High Yah in a way that he would call me to, I would definitely say, Father, there's no light found on the earth. I wouldn't have no other choice. There's no light found on the earth. You know why? Because there's so much darkness. And somewhere along the line, like the body of Hamashiach, you notice you don't see the body. You don't see the unity. Where are they? What's the problem? But what did he say? Make sure you are found. Make sure that you are found doing when he come. You see, people don't pay no attention to that. We ain't worried about that. They are doing exactly what he said. They're going to say, well, he's not coming. He prolonged his time because there's nothing really in them. There's no light in them. The battle is between light and dark, whether you all knew it. And I mean in every shape and form that dark rests in and that light rests in. There's going to always be a battle. You notice that Yeshua, he was with 12, but yet there was one dark. Now, what did that dark? That one piece that was dark was greater than anything that was among him as his enemy. You notice that? That one individual played a heaven role from the kingdom to be the greatest enemy. Ha! Woo-wee! I like that one. To all the light that Yeshua HaMashiach was. Ain't that deep? But see how Yah rumble? He allowed that one darkness to be in the midst of the 12. And that one darkness purpose was to do one mission from the kingdom. Is to portray the light until a time where that one light that was said to be the light, matter of fact, was sitting on the right-hand side at the Last Supper. So y'all didn't get it, did you? Oh, yes, that's where he was at, on that right side by side, dipping in the same, showing you how close he was. But yet he was the enemy all the time. You see? Those things are for us to have learned when we were little, coming up in what we called the church, the place of worship, the pastor, the bishop, the leaders. But they taught us darkness. You see? But no one would ever think that. That the Yeshua HaMashiach came down and the heavens had wrote it up to allow one out of the 12. Now, you know, 12 ain't very many out of thousands and thousands. Remember, he fed 6,000, 5,000. You see what I'm saying? And the multitude followed him by 5,000, 3,000. You know, you see what I'm saying? But why just 12? Why just 12? I believe the body of Hamashiach is not made up of the multitude. I think the body of Hamashiach is made up of what the heaven knew how he wanted to make it up of. And when you think of the 12 disciples, that one did the ultimate against the light itself. Isn't that deep? You see how darkness stepped in to destroy the light. You see how heaven wrote that up? See, y'all don't get it, do you? You see that? But it's there for you to see, so you can see who got the victory. Even though the dark sat among the light all that time, that dark sat in the midst of the light. That dark saw all the miracles, signs, and wonders. The darkness heard all the word that Yah sent down with the Son of Man. The darkness saw all the healing, the feeding the thousands, and the waking the dead. The darkness saw it all. But what? It didn't matter what the darkness or who the darkness was, why it was walking side by side. Why are you right next to him? Why was darkness right next to the light? See what I'm saying? These are the things one should have been taught, but Yah still did not allow. See, Yah still got to roll in it. Because he knows that the heaviness of people's flesh is not going to allow them to see nothing righteous or light. Because if you really think and you go back, and we're talking about the light, because I'm trying to get you all to understand when Sister Deborah is talking about the light and spirit and truth, don't think she don't know what she's talking about. You the one don't know what you talking about because you dark. You see, you don't understand it. So when I'm saying this, what I'm talking about now, just think about Yeshua. All that time he traveled, and all that time, you remember he sent them out by twos? Don't you think he knew one of them was the darkness? You see? But he still gave him what? Authority over the darkness. Oh, yes, he gave him authority. I'm just trying to show y'all how heaven wrote this thing out. I know y'all ain't going to get it, and it ain't important. It's Deborah, bring that light out of that darkness. Whether they get it or not, it's only for certain ones anyway, baby. So just bring it out. 12. One was a betrayer, and the one that was the betrayer walked all that time with the Messiah. All that time, seeing every sign, miracles, and wonders, powers. But it didn't change him. It didn't make him do nothing but what he come down here to do. And that was the Father's will. To be the darkness that betrayed. Because he was the darkness. See, you thinking that the darkness is still not ruled by Yah. Yah still rule it. He has the first and the last. He know what he's doing. He got a will. Who can go into his will and tell him what to do with it? Or how to rewrite it, or how it should go. No, it's going according to my Father's will. We all stepping in his will, his way, and it ain't our way. Okay, so we need to cut that mess. But you ain't gonna cut it. Because the one that betrayed him all the way to the end. Okay? And it took just that 1 out of 12 to fulfill the mission of the Father will. But he had to have and allow that betrayer in. You see that? So that no matter where you think you at and where you think you're going, many people are more so the deceiver, the betrayer, than they think they are the oneness in the body of HaMashiach. The difference today, it's over. Shine light on that darkness. So if no one sees it, that darkness, no light is being shined on it. Because light succeeds darkness 100%. Okay, so here I like in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 6 how Yah commanded the light to shine out of darkness because he put his light in us. He not expected 100% it's gonna shine past our flesh. Okay, and it's gonna work through our flesh. That light gonna shine through it. Okay, so let's go to the book of Job. The book of Job, something also occurred with the light. that's really interesting. But I like it though. The book of Job. Let me get it. Let me get it. Not Joel. The book of Job. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Verse chapter 12. The book of Job, chapter 12, and verse 22. And verse 22. Chapter 12, verse 22. Verse 22. And it reads, he discovered deep things. He discovered deep things out of darkness. Deep things out of darkness. And bring it out to the light, the shadow of death. You see that? He discovered deep things out of darkness and bring it out to the light, the shadow of death. That's what I was explaining to y'all, that the Spirit tells me, Deborah. And the reason why I think he tells me my purpose is to now just bring light out of darkness is because if you're thinking that you're going to bring people to unify or to come into a oneness and to be about what is right and what is just and what is the fear of Yah and the faith of Yah, you can't. You can't. No matter how you teach, no matter how you preach, you cannot bring people to this level, baby. So, but one thing you can do, you know what you can do, Deborah? Bring that light out of that darkness. Because you can always bring that light out of darkness. Always. Because light is more powerful than darkness. Even though as people are in this world, it looks like the darkness is winning. But guess how the darkness winning? With a handful of people. Ain't that, you don't think that's strange? How could this whole world be controlled by a handful of people? No, you can't blame Satan. That's why he didn't tell you that Satan is your worst enemy. He told you yourself. So you see, even Satan is limited. His job is just to deceive the world. Who is this doing all this other stuff? You see what I'm saying? Somebody's doing a whole bunch of other stuff that's beyond deceiving, because Satan already deceived the whole world. I'm a living witness on this earth. He has fully deceived the whole world. Now, listen to this here. Job, in Job chapter 12, verse 22, he discovered deep things out of darkness. He discovered deep things out of darkness. You see, there are deep things that's in darkness. When y'all hearing Sister Deborah teaching and speaking and preaching, I'm always bringing things out of what was hidden, what is in the dark, all the time. You see, when the Spirit telling me all you are to do now is bring light out of darkness, bring information to the people that was hidden in darkness. And when people receive it, they're supposed to glorify the Most High Yah. They're supposed to edify him. They're supposed to turn to his face and seek him from that day on. But do you think they do that? No, because they think where they at is where they need to be. I'm running this thing. That's how they feel. That's just who they are. But these are people who loaded in walking in their flesh. Their flesh is so powerful over their spirit. They listen to every word they flesh say to them, and they follow their end. Now listen to what it says. And bring it out, the light, the shadow of death. And bring it out to light, the shadow of death. And that's how powerful the message that I am bringing. But is it for the world? No, it's for the body of Hamashiach. And that's why you don't have many that is in the body of Hamashiach on Sister Deborah's page. You see, you don't have many at all. You see, not at all. You got people on this page just on it because they think them being on it is they gaining something. They feel that they have something, but they ain't gaining nothing. They don't have nothing but themselves. That's the ego, their pride, their self-centered, and that's what they have. But the body of Hamashiach is the one that he bring out of light. When I bring out the light, the shadow of death, this that you bringing, he said in verse 22, he discovered deep things out of the darkness. And that's why it's important for me to go into the Sabbath, because there will he bring things or give me topics to speak on regarding the darkness holding deep things. Deep things. The darkness is really holding people deep things. He wants us as the light to bring these deep things out. But are the people going to do it? No. Do he know they're not going to do it? Yes, but he ain't looking for the people. He looking for his light to do it, and not the people. And we shouldn't be looking for the people to do it. We should be looking for his light. Same way with the body of Hamashiach and those that's we're supposed to be a oneness in the unity coming together. Only look for those that are the light. You cannot make darkness the body of Hamashiach. You cannot make darkness the oneness. I don't care how darkness wrap around this page. If the light don't come as the light and with the light and together as the light, then there's still darkness portrayed to be the light. Because he said, when he come, when the Son of Man come, let him find you doing. You don't mean that you need to be with individuals doing these things, but doing what? What the body of Hamashiach need to be doing. Whether it's a whole coming together, unifying, doing what you're supposed to do. In me, listen to what I'm saying. In me, I cannot even imagine how Yah would allow. Now listen to this is me. Oh, well, maybe that's something he might share with me on my Sabbath. On the Sabbath, not my Sabbath, but the Sabbath next Saturday. I, in me, cannot understand and will not. How would it look and how would it be, or how can it be when the people won't unite and come into a oneness on the earth, but you're going to bring them into a oneness in the heaven? To me, that's just something that it never made sense. It never makes sense. If the world can come together, look at every church on the corner. Look at all these denominations. They come together. They don't have a problem. How could darkness do this? But if you say that you are the light, there's nothing in you to come to a unity or come to a oneness, bring all the gifts and all the word of light with you to support the body of Hamashiach. I really don't that's the part I don't understand it. I ain't gonna sit and tell you I know it. To me, that's confusing. That Christ has a body, but the body don't have itself. To me, that's just, where is the body? And what is wrong with the body? Those who have hate, envy, self-centered, greed and pride, cunning, conniving, don't ever let them be the body. They're not in the body. You can't make them the body. And see, I think that's what the problem is. People are just making everybody the light. 99.9, they the darkness. You just created them as the light because you don't know the difference between light on light, because they won't come in a unity in any way that brings them forth into a oneness to work with each other and to go out with the light, knowing that, hey, we're the light of the world. We should be coming to some sort of oneness. And guess what? I've read it. It's in here at least three times, how he said, don't hesitate to fellowship together. But what did they do? The darkness and the darkness fellowship together. So is he talking about the darkness? Is he saying the darkness? Don't hesitate to fellowship one to another. It's in there at least 3 times. And I'm like saying, is that just something they threw in there? Because the darkness do fellowship. They do. All over the world. All over the world. All over the world. But what is it? What is the problem with the light? That's something I do. I must praise to the Father to help me in that area. Because that's to be a good thing to know where is the body of Hamashiach. Where do the body of Hamashiach stand? But you know what? They got everything covered that has to deal with the world. And they come to a oneness in everything that mount into the world. But they reject coming together in the light. Because they want to represent the light, but they only want the light limited. They want to play the role as the light and want to look as the standards of the light, but they live 99% of the time in darkness. And they spark of what they feel, they call light, is when they come on here thinking they listen to Sister Deborah. That ain't it, y'all. That ain't it. So the light itself is to bring things. I like what it says because it said to bring out to light the shadow of death, to bring out to the light the shadow of death. And if you don't get that, something wrong with you, because that there tells you right there. So if we are the light, we are to be bringing out, y'all, the light to the world. Oh no, we're not supposed to be listening to these scholars and these professionals and these educated fools and these people in this world. But what we do, we hear everything they say, and we say it's that. And when light spring up and reveal, oh, that ain't nobody. That person ain't nobody. I listen year after year, but I ain't got nothing to do with that. You see, that's the deep heart of people. And right there is where they need to rest. And they're going to. Right there. Because that's the beauty of Yah, is to know that this darkness that people think is their light is only darkness. But I didn't know that darkness was that heavy to deceive the people. But it is. They've been in darkness. And they're going to reside in darkness. He said the light shineth, but the darkness comprehended not. So that is showing you that your flesh ain't gonna let you comprehend the true light no way. Especially with the light of Yah in you. Oh no. That's why I tell you have to have the light with you. The light must be with you. Let's go to Psalms 18. In Psalms 18 and verse 28. Psalms 18 in verse 28. Psalms 18 in verse 28. There's just so many. I didn't even know it was that many verses in here talking about the light. So in my mind, I'm like saying, you mean I got all? Let me see if y'all can see it. Y'all, you see it? I got the highlight ones is the ones I'm really. These are all, and it's got many, many more. These are verses that poured out the light. You see? And these, guess what, y'all? They speak it just like I do. They trying to get you to see that light is what we need to be about. And that light's supposed to affect the darkness in a way that it succeed over the darkness. But do you think these people going to do that? No, because they think it's about following somebody, and I'm in there. Because I heard everything that person say. I'm in there. No, you're not. People, please. I'm sure Judas thought that when he followed Yeshua all those years, he was in there too. Yeah, he was all the way in there. But what was his mission from the kingdom? Darkness. That's why I say, be careful. Don't follow Sister Deborah. If you're not about Sister Deborah and you do not support Sister Deborah, don't be on here following Sister Deborah. Don't be on here following me, because it ain't going to get you in the door. You're still going to have the oil. And that oil ain't going to mean the rest behind if it can't be lit. Woo. It's still the light. The lamp is the light. Okay? And if now I ain't gonna say if you had the oil, you can try to get the oil like they did with the 10 virgins. I don't know what they running out trying to buy. You can't buy it. But that shows you the ignorance of individuals. It's something that you have to have from the inside, not what you can buy with the outside. Oh, yes, I knew it. So here in Psalms 18, verse 28, in Psalms 18 and verse 28, it reads, "For thou will light my candle, and Yah will enlighten my darkness." What is that? Listen to that. I wonder, do anybody know what that means? Verse 28, "For thou will light my candle, and Yah will enlighten my darkness." First he's going to have to get that flesh to be enlightened, because that's the problem with people. They flesh is their greatest enemy. It don't want to receive the light, not the light that comes from the spirit realm. Now the light of darkness, where people can teach them what they know, and then their intelligence, they think, oh, I got it now, I understand it. You understand it in the flesh. But this here light that Yah going to enlighten my darkness means my flesh mind, my flesh heart, my flesh ways, my flesh understanding, my flesh feelings, my flesh wisdom, my flesh knowledge. Yah, what? Verse 28. "For thou will light my candle." For the Most High will enlighten my darkness. That's what Yah does. He's the one. He's the candle. He's the light itself that lights your candle and enlighten your candle. I mean, not your candle. Wait a minute. Let me say that right. And Yah will enlighten my darkness. Because the more you are enlightened, your darkness cease. I mean, your flesh don't have no authority. Now it's your light. That's what he means when he said, "Let your light so shine." Do you all know how to let your light shine? You know, many people think letting their light shine is a power of their own. It's the power of their flesh and the authority of the flesh and the right, how would I say it? Privilege of their flesh. They think that it's their flesh called a shot. They really do, but it's not. I like here because it says Yah will enlighten your darkness, letting you know you can't enlighten your darkness. So it don't matter how you get on here and listen to Sister Deborah, you can't enlighten your darkness. Only the spirit of of Yah can enlighten your spirit, so you would have the light. That's how you get it. Not sitting here looking at Sister Deborah. That's that and hearing Sister Deborah. See, you either right from the inside or you're not right at all. Mm-hmm. See, that's why the flesh is your greatest enemy, because it makes you think that, hey, you all the way good. It ain't telling you, you have to be good. You got to be lit up in your spirit by the Most High Yah. That's the way you. That's how you go into this. Now, when you get to John, I think I'm gonna have to. Let me see how many. Oh yes, I'm gonna have to back out because I got a few things to do today. Oh boy. First John. The First John. I'm gonna end it here. But the light. Today, we as the light, we need to be about the light and let the light of who the Father is shine through us, in us. Okay? And not be out here trying to keep up with the world. But many people can't even control the fact that they serve the world. You see? They're those who bow down to the world. Like what my sister was saying at the table. All this here stuff about you got so much in control and you rule this and you rule that. And a child getting straight A's don't mean a rat's behind. Let them get straight A in the spirit. How about that? Let them get A in the spirit. While you trying to make it look like it makes a person because you can get it in the flesh. It don't make you nothing but a fool. Because you play basketball and it makes you something in the flesh. Because you can control the flesh, you think you got him in order. No, baby. You better give that son of yours, your grandson, back to the Father. Because once he hit that age, you're going to wish you would have done it a long time ago. Don't play. Don't play. Don't play. And I want her to also, something that I'm going to put down. I know y'all might think it's wrong, but I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. And it needs to be said. It's too powerful. She had a son that passed away. Her grandson favors him. Forever saying, James, stop ringing. This one that's down here, you keep connecting to James, he's going to leave out like James. You got to stop. You got to bring him to God and make him who Yah has, or God in her mind, call it, gave you a blessing. You got to see him as a blessing from that level, not a blessing as if the son you had, is worldly to come and bring you end up having another grandson look just like him. Because your son passed away, and then you can't seem to shake this child without connecting him with James, because he looked like him. And he does look like him, but no, you don't want to connect him. Because the same way that James went out, you putting too much connection on this one. Pour down that. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. See, too many people doing too many actions in the flesh. They don't understand how they're ruining the later on. She did the same thing with James. James was straight A student. He did this in school and he did this, but it didn't stop him from going on the dark side. You get what I'm saying? You better watch yourself, because see, people don't understand. People come in your living and in your space. A lot of people, you know how people always say everything happened for a reason? Do you know, I sit back and I watch people who've been following Sister Deborah, and the only one take it serious is those who do support. Let me tell you why. They see the fact that they have followed Sister Deborah, and guess what? They glorify the Father for having someone that he sent to be able to feed them food, to keep them lining up with him. That's what that's doing. You see? And they ain't giving thanks to Sister Deborah, y'all. They giving thanks to the Father. That's the sickness people don't understand. When people don't support, that's that wicked and evil come to the table like Judas. Like to be on the tail end, be up in the corners and thinking they getting something at the table. But people who know they're at the table and they are getting something at that table, guess what? They glorify the Father by supporting the one that he sent. You know why? That's what he said you're supposed to do. That's why I tell y'all, I don't cover that end of it, but I watch it because I don't want no one to think that this is the reason why you give. Why? Because I don't want them to lose their blessings. Because the Father told them, you giving unto the least of one of these. Even Yeshua told them in the kingdom, who are the least of one of these? My servants that I sent down. You done it unto me. Because they were trying to figure out, well, when did we do it to you? He told them. And Sister Deborah's preached that and taught that. But people, let me tell you something. People's heart is so hardened. Don't you go near them. Don't you even try to befriend them in the live chat, in nothing. Don't go near these people. They are Judas at the table, and nothing no different. Now, what do you all know? Yeshua's example is supposed to be for our understanding, to be able to teach and speak on. Just like parents are for children example. And the children today don't understand that. Instead, they made the parents the one they hate, but we were the one that went through for, so you can look at our issues and we can talk about our issues, what we done went through, so you won't have to make that same mistake. Well, that's what Yeshua did. The Father set it up so we can see his walk, and said those who walk with him, or not with him, but behind him, who's the head? Christ the head, then Yeshua, and then us. We all in this together. But if you don't match what was taking place then, it's no way you in there. You ain't in nothing. You see? You ain't in nothing. And many that support Yeshua, they end up being the disciples. The betrayer, it's just gone. Did the disciples know that he was the betrayer? No. The Father didn't allow him to know, but Yeshua did. The Son of Man, the Son of Yah did do. You see? They knew. Yah is not going to allow you to not know, and let you be the light. Let you be full of his Holy Spirit. Let him teach you, and you not know who's who and what's what. And that's what people, this is how easy it is for me to know who's who and what's what. And have the audacity to follow you for years. I'd rather for them to fall by the wayside off this page than to continue. Because the Father had put in there many times. Not Yah put it in there, but it's in there. And I believe based on the scrolls, it has to be. If I'm sending a servant down, don't beat them. Don't ridicule them. Don't crucify them. Don't kill them. I'm sending them as my servant. And if someone sees Yah's servant being a servant of Yah, and they know that they are being served by getting food for their spirit, and they decide to give, guess what? He said, you give unto the least of one of these. He tells us that. Even Yeshua tells us his example in the heavens. He said, even if a drink of water. He just letting you know how much it means that people do appreciate what he gives them. But when you don't appreciate what Yah gives you to feed you spirit and truth, to reveal to you things that Yah has, it's because you on the other side, thinking you on the right side. And let me tell y'all something. The devil will come in the scene and have all kind of reasons of why. How can you have a reason of why you come in at the table and sit there? But I also think about David. David's speaking to me now. Deborah, don't forget now. Don't forget, Deborah. Y'all prepare a table in the presence of your enemies so the enemies can sit at the table anytime they want. Makes sense, David. Makes sense. Let them sit at the table. Let them sit at the table. You see? It's really crazy, but it's that type of crazy that you know that Yah's will got the beginning and the end of it. You know? He sees it. He knows what it is. And don't think he don't see all the wicked in this world. Y'all, please. He been seeing all this mess. And he letting it stay where it's at. So let them sit up in the corner. Let them go ride on like they think they doing something. And they think they getting something. Let them ride on. Because the level of the heart is wicked than the heart itself. That's what's deep with me. The hearts is that deep. So I, Sister Deborah, have here John 1, okay, verse 5 through 7. This then is the message which we have heard of him, declare unto you that Yah is light, and in him is no darkness at all. If we say we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not the truth. Verse 7. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another. You see that? And the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, his son, cleansed us from all sin. I want you to hear that again. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another. And the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, the son, cleansed us from our sin. So it's a lot of things that y'all want Sister Deborah to understand, to leave things right where it's at. And what he mean is, don't try to make the crooked straight. They're not going to get straight. If they ain't straight by now, what he mean by now, right today, don't look for them to be straight. And with me, I'm more so liking to make sure I let the devil know. You can be in the midst all you want. All you want. You can eat from the table. And like David just said, he prepared a table, Deborah, in the presence of your enemy. But notice your head is going to get the oil and your cup is going to overflow, not the enemies that's at the table. So that's how he leaves your brothers. And that's not just my brothers, but many of them, they have been left here to give us some insight of what yesterday was, so we'll know what we in today. Even though we're in a worse time period, but it's okay to show us how it was back then, letting you know that it didn't change. It got worse. So you got a table full of enemies. Believe me, if you are the light, you got a table full of enemies that will come around and be in the midst. So then you sit and you say, when you see these YouTubers here teaching all this dreams and visions and this and this and this and this, why do so many people have subscribers and likes? Because darkness love darkness. Darkness love its own. If these people were teaching spirit and truth in the light, I guarantee you, they will not have subscribers and likes. You see, that's the difference. How many did Yeshua have liking him? Come on, match up, pull up. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand, you got to get behind Yeshua. Because the Father's in front. He created his only begotten son, then Yeshua, then us. So if we following, who's next to us? The Son of Man. Who next to him? Christ and the Father. You see? So therefore, we in line. We in harmony. You see? But don't get out here following the world that's not following the Son of Man, Christ, nor the Father. You see? People are not giving you the glory and the honor and the praise to the Father that's leading the whole army. Don't be giving it to somebody on this devil platform. Don't be worshiping and serving people on this platform, but the world does. Why? Because Yah is allowing the world to love its own. If Yah didn't want them to love their own, he would not allow them to get along or to mingle with one another and see their truth in their own truth. That's how just the Father is. If the darkness want to live away and they want to be justified and clarify their way, let them. I let them do them. That's the beauty of knowing the Creator. To me it is, because there's so many things I came to him about as a young person, wondering why he wasn't doing nothing about the situation. I realized he ain't coming to interfere with none of that mess, y'all, nor your mess. So you can run your tail around here and be like you are today, thinking you're going to get help tomorrow. You don't never know when your aching body or anything come upon you and you need a right now. Reach from the right hand. Let me say that again. When y'all know that you have no dealings with him because you don't deal with the one that I sent because they got me in them, then you out of here. Don't look for me. And this is what people don't understand, where he's not hearing you. He's not getting you because you're playing hypocrite. You're playing the role for all it's worth. If nobody don't understand Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6, they perish, Deborah, due to lack of knowledge, because there's such a heavy rejection of knowledge. Why? Because they don't want to have nothing to do with the knowledge. They don't want to know. Why? Because it brings them to conviction. That's why I say unto you all we have is repent. That's all that's on the table. And if you cannot turn in the midst of your repent from the ways of your own flesh and turn to the face of Yah, the light, that's all you have, baby. I know it. You think you got your bank account. You think you got your house. You think you got your job. Oh, I got my retirement. I got stuff in my basement. You got it. You got it and you got it. But see if it's going to save you come this day. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all. And I'm going to try to be back. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be back this evening, but I appreciate each and every last one of you in the live. And I say, shalom and shalom.